We're about to see some changes in authority once Pluto starts its retrograde. How the authority changes, where it changes, when it changes, all that kind of stuff is going to be sort of unexpected as it is translated with Uranus. It is unexpected. We don't always really know what's going to come or when it's going to be there. But one thing that we do know for sure is that Aquarius, it holds the authority of the old spirits, the primordial being, the ones who were here before me and before you and before any of our lineages. That's a long time. That's a long time. So because of this, when the spirits that are really old start to see stories that are told down on the earth where the authority that the humans have created does not really translate to the primordial beings, where it doesn't translate to the authority of the spirit, which look at the world, okay? Then the chaos that happens because of those big primordial winds, it shifts things around. Think about it like this. If there was no change ever, we would be stuck. We would be stuck in the system. We would be stuck in our life. And think about how many times you yourself have changed. How many times have you changed in your life, changed your job, your career, your dreams, the people that are around you? Change happens every day and it happens all the time. So when the authority of the primordial old spirits comes in for us, sometimes we have to relate back and forth. Is it my turn to have authority as an individual? Is it the collective's turn to have authority? Or is it time for the primordial old spirits? Is it time for them to have authority? And when it's time for them to have authority, we don't really have any say in it. You can't stop a natural disaster. I'm not saying that it's going to be a natural disaster that happens. I'm just saying that you couldn't stop that. Not the full force of it anyways. You know, we've got people who handle those things out in the world, and thank you if you are one of those people. Anyways, though, moving on. Aquarius has the big winds coming in. Pluto, when it retrogrades, it activates a death wave. We're letting go of things. There's releases and removal. We're warding ourselves out of certain spaces and moving on. And because we're moving on and moving into some new stuff, if we don't let go of what we've been doing, we can't get through. Pluto holds the gate. It holds the timing of things while it is with Saturn, okay? It holds the gate of timing and says, what have you paid yet? Have you paid what you're supposed to pay? So on an individual level, if you've been feeling called to make some changes, now is the time to do it. Now is the time. Don't sit on it, get on it, okay? Yeah. And on a societal level, it's gonna look a little different. If we are all sitting in our authority and we've left behind these maybe different people or different situations, different circumstances that no longer align to us, we're sitting in our own authority in our life and saying, I don't want this around me anymore. There's probably more than one person who's doing something similar to that. I wouldn't be able to talk about it if I myself hadn't done it, you know? So there's a lot of people where we've been leaving behind the old ways of things when it comes to society, traditions. And because of that, the old spirits, the primordial spirits, they're watching it. They're watching us. What are you doing? How are you moving? What is the real thing that's happening on an individual level? Because that also feeds into society. So when Pluto starts to retrograde, the shifts in authority, it could be a couple different things. It could be the primordial spirits finally coming in and being like, listen, you've got to let this go. Like you had an option. Now it's time. This is the only option at this point. It could be that. It could be that the new life is coming in, especially if you have a Uranus, a Saturn, or a Pluto retrograde in your chart specifically. Bonus points if they are in the 11th house. If any of those placements sound familiar to you, you're about to be rocketed into a new future. So it could be that the old beings are bringing in new life. Basically like, listen, you've already done the work, you've already paid for it, so like just let it show up. That would be that one. When it comes to a societal level, that's the sort of stuff where I don't know if I don't really want to make predictions. It's not that I couldn't, I just really don't want to. There's a lot of change already involved in that. So I'm going to talk about the transit. Apply as you might want to. Okay. If there's chaos, it's because there's something or something unexpected, something chaotic or something unexpected. It's because the authority, either of the group, the collective, the system, the institution, the person, the relationship, again, apply as necessary. Something is changing. The primordial spirits have seen that there needs to be an alteration to the situation. Apply as needed. So they've come through to usher in some sort of chaos. And if you are able to sit in whatever preparation that you might need to, Saturn right now is in Pisces, offering us transitions and offering spiritual practitioners more than maybe other people who are not practicing in the spirit with intention. So just discernment on that too. Because in my practice, everybody sits in the spirit. It just depends on how often and how much. Yeah, spiritual hierarchy is a thing. So when the chaos ensue, the unpredictable things happen. That's a time and a place that is being offered to whoever is involved with that situation. Relationship, it could be a group of people, it could be a system, it could, again, apply as necessary. Okay, chaos is there for a reason. What are you going to make out of it? There's chaos around you, go create. You see a chaotic situation? Okay, yeah, then go do what you need to do in the middle of whatever it is that's going on. Authority is changing while Pluto is in Aquarius. Already in a position, it might not look like it right now with what is going on in the world, but think about what's been happening over the previous 100. Authority has already been shifting. Sometimes we've got to grow the weed to pull the seed. If we don't have a sight of what is actually the issue, we can't root it up and get rid of it. So sometimes things have to be grown. Sometimes the weed has to grow, otherwise we wouldn't know it was there in the first place. So with authority changing, if you've pulled a lot of weeds from your life and from your garden, new life is coming in where those weeds were pulled. And at the same time, on a collective societal sort of level, there's about to be some shifts, which hopefully are gifts. And I'm going to say it, I've said it in multiple different spaces on the internet. If you're a spiritual practitioner in this era of Pluto and Aquarius, you have a leg up because the foundations of Pluto and Aquarius are built off of Saturn and Pisces, which is about discipline and the spirit. That's one of the things it's about. It's about a lot of different things, but that's a part of it. So gratitude, reverence, and love to you. Keep up the brew. Keep doing what you need to do. That's the message for now. If authority is changing, it also helps to understand the authority that you sit in. So if you want to think about that too, that could be helpful because then that's also preparation for chaos happening. It's okay, well, I know my authority, so I can step up in this situation or step into this situation and make the change the way that I have decided. So yeah, it's been on my mind. Figured I'd share. Grateful for you. I'll talk to you soon. Also true.